This is Kailasanathar temple located in Kancheepuram, which is about 2-hour drive from Chennai. This is one of the oldest temple in Kancheepuram and probably the smallest in size compared to the rest. Here is a short history lesson. This temple was built by the great Pallava king Narasimhavarman II in around 8th century AD. Back then, most of the temples were built near mountains, caves or near rocky areas, but this was the first temple built inland and the stone was quarried and transported much like today's brick construction. It is also said that the great Rajaraja Cholan got inspired by this temple design for his Tanjore Brihadiswara temple. This temple is declared as a protected monument of national importance by Archaeological Society of India. Here is one interesting fact. In most of the Shiva temples in South India, Shiva and Parvati have their own temples inside the complex. Not sure why they don't coexist in the same complex. If you know, let me know in comments. If you look at the inner wall of the temple, you will observe an array of smaller shrines, 59 to be precise. These smaller shrines, in terms of design, are comparable to a tiny temple on its own. Each of them house Lord Shiva in various dance forms, and the shrine itself is supported by 4 lion pillars. Why lions? Because lions are Pallava's logo. This is the exterior wall of the main shrine, and the main shrine is dedicated for Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is in the form of lingam and he is facing the east direction. There is a narrow passage along the main shrine. It is so narrow that you have to literally squeeze your body. If you are claustrophobic, I would not recommend this one. According to the locals, if you go through that narrow passage, that literally means birth and death of an individual. The scripts you see on the wall are in Grantha language and they are written in floral style, a precursor for today's cursive writing. They talk about the lifestyle of the king and how he devoted his life for Shaivanism and not other pleasures of life. This is very obvious in the temple as you won't find any erotic sculptures here. According to historical records, there were murals on both interior and exterior walls of this temple. The ones on the exterior were lost due to natural elements such as sun and rain. In 1915, PWD, Public Work Department of India, took in charge of restoring the interior murals, and the PWD engineers back then decided to cover the entire temple with a thick lime paste. Obviously, this did more harm than good, and after 65 years in 1980, a team of archaeologists worked on restoring and removing the lime plaster. They tried to use non-corrosive materials and they could only restore a bit. Though the temple has been declared as a national monument of importance, the lack of funds is obvious here, and this temple does not get much attention compared to the other temples. On the outside you see a big bull, locally called as Nandi Mandapam. Again you can see the signs of restoration. Part of the bull is covered with thick lime paste. The main entrance of the temple is designed asymmetrically. As you can see, there are 2 shrines on the left and there are 6 on the right. Each of them house Shiva in the form of lingam. Some deities of lingam were restored with a more recent version, and in others you can see the lingam from the 8th century. If you are a history buff, you would love this temple. There is so much to see and learn, and the architecture is quite breathtaking. If you are planning to visit the temple, I would recommend going there early morning for a couple of reasons. 1, it's obviously less crowded in the morning. 2, the temple floor is covered with granite. With sun, they get really hot and it won't be easy to walk with your bare feet. I would highly recommend to get a knowledgeable local guide so they can explain you the history behind the temple. Thanks for watching.